Set this to valve. Turn on head and power. There we go. So I don't know if we'll get the whole scenario done in time, because it's going to take 40 minutes. I need to sleep in like 30, but I'll show this. Notcha! Oh, I thought the auto brake was off, but I guess the key binding was skipped. Yeah, well, we'll run a little late, whatever. Also, I apologize for the frame rate. I don't care. I can't get good frame rates. If people want to complain it's not 4K 60 FPS, I don't care. I'm not gonna help you. But anyways, this is what we've done. So this is the freight I made, so you can at least have a decent meet. It doesn't matter that he stops at a stupid checkpoint farther down. That's useless to us. Okay, what's the frame rate we're going to be getting for this stream? Alright, you guys are going to have to deal with 15 FPS. You want more than that? Not going to happen. Not with this PC. Not with this game. Also, I'm going to try and release this reskin with it. With the scenario. It's not the best reskin. A lot of people don't like it. This is as good as it's going to get. I don't have enough time in my life anymore to actually work on this, and I don't really want to work on it anymore. It's far too painful to work on. There's already a nightmare enough just to get these colors adjusted. So anyways, I tried to make West Harbor feel at least somewhat populated. Is this my modified consist? No, that's just a standard. These auto racks are out, if anyone's wondering. I feel like there's something else I didn't set. No, I did. I set everything correct. Oh, good. So I'll just show this on the map. You're going to see another train leaving here. This will be a coal train that was recrewing. Honestly, seeing the mix of names and calling that map is a nice break on its own. Oh, thanks. I mean, that's the one thing I will give Oakville. I trash Oakville a lot, but it gave us a lot of variety for freight car substitution. And no other route does that. And it sucks, because Sandpatch doesn't even do it. I had to manually add that stuff in. And even then, it's not substitution. It's just me building a new consist using the formation editor. So the main locomotive reskin, I think, looks decent. You'll notice there's some weird color adjustments where, like, a vent or two isn't the same color on the bi-level. I don't really know what's wrong with that. It's going to be released like that. Maybe I'll come back and work on it again someday, but the colors should be all the same when I check the texture mapping, so believe me, I'm just as confused as you guys. I mean, the EOT doesn't work that much. Also, I'm sorry this stream like cut out for like a solid minute and a half. OBS 64-bit can't stream TSW anymore. It will lock. OBS 64-bit will just lock up nowadays, just totally. So I don't know if I need a fresh install or what. Model shading, perhaps. It might have something to do with the normals texture, or like metallic roughness texture. It's one of those two files that determines like how shiny things are and what like color it should shine off as. And I don't think I've messed with that. I'll have to take a look at it again, but I feel like I gave them all the same colors. The mapping on this stuff isn't terrible, but it's not physically possible to put a GoTransit logo on the bi-levels, and that's why they look unfinished. They look unbranded, but that's because I physically can't put a brand on them. Let's see, is my little fix for the signals, for the signal manipulation mod, is that here? It should have a dash on it if I fixed it. Oh no, I didn't put that in here, did I? Oh yeah, 374-N, 374-S. Did I not do one for 376S? Oh, I'll have to fix that. Yeah, the front of the locomotive looks well done, thanks. Wait, why is it a double yellow? That doesn't seem right. Oh, because I'm crossing over? Wait, that... NORAC-wise, that doesn't... Something seems wrong here. So I don't know if anyone can write in the stream if they were able to see a menu at the beginning of this stream. I gotta look and see if it made two different streams using Twitch. I hope it didn't, because I'll have to stitch them together as a video, but oh, it made it into 2 videos, great. Well, whoever saw them is going to be good, but otherwise I gotta stitch them together on YouTube. Alright, yeah, so the service is just gonna look weird on YouTube, and I'll just have to, like, I don't know. Yellow over yellow is advanced approach. We have searchlights up here where I am on a route, and I've never seen a yellow over yellow. Alright, so there's one thing I want to make this clear that is not coming with this custom scenario, and it is strictly for me only, and is only for this purpose of this stream. These skins were made by NGC427. He requested they be pulled from the Train Sim Mods thing several months ago, so it was kind of a grab it while you can thing. I kept them, obviously. I think they look really nice. They're meant to be, you know, they're no Searchlight Simulations quality, but, you know, but for TSW's Canadian Pacific thing, he spent a lot of time on these, and they really are passable. I like them. I gotta get rid of this reverser out message, because that is driving me nuts. I haven't seen one either, but it does exist. Well, I mean, I'm not sure Oakville's signaling is all that amazing to begin with. I mean, it's mostly correct, but at a glance, they look pretty slick. They do. I think he did a really good job on them. The livery editor is not something you can easily work with. Alright, and now we're going to get a clearance up to 30. Dim my headlights to dim, because I am dealing with oncoming traffic. And even though I'm technically still in the signal block, which I am, I'm still in a control point. This guy shouldn't be moving until I clear the signal, but Dovetail's dispatcher is, again, weird. Like, the signaling's off. This is one of the examples. I also want to make this clear. I know there's a 95 mile an hour speed limit. You will not be able to reach that in this scenario. You'll get maybe 80. You're doing a calling all stop scenario, not an end-to-end. Only one stop. Also point out that coal train will now be on your rear the entire time, and he kind of, the dispatcher puts him in the same block as you. In real life, that shouldn't happen. normally that requires dispatcher permission, but in this game, the 4400 just keeps getting yellow signals right into your rear. So he'll catch right up to you if you run like crap, so... So I'll showcase, there should be plenty of services. First one should be here. I set them all on specific launch times so that you actually get a genuine feel for what's going on. And I've tested this many, many times to make sure they don't get backed up on each other. This one is the one that has an issue. If it doesn't work, I'll just remove it or I'll replace it with something smaller. That is weird, that shouldn't happen. Yeah, Oakville is weird in that way. Because I've had this 4400, I've been stopped at the station up here at Aldershot, and he's come into the signal block I'm in behind me, and I have had to notchate it out of there. Because I can see him behind me. With the camera, not just with the map. So, we're approaching at 1 mile. Initial reduction. Just to get the blended braking working. I'm not running this as hard as I would normally, but I'll make it so that I can run faster. Alright, 20 FPS, we're getting good. Well, there's your AI, there's your little local run. Or I'll show this, yeah, he's gonna come into the block behind me. Because he's coming up here, and based on the control points, this signal right here should be red. In any real-life scenario, this would be red. The fact that it's yellow without dispatcher permission basically is an illegal move. As a dispatcher, you should be sacked if you were able to make that happen. Or the signaling guy who works on this piece of track should be sacked, because that's a false indication that should not be happening. That's giving him a yellow, and the next red is the one there is no red after that. So it's not the signaling system isn't seeing me. It doesn't care. So there should only be about 25 more minutes in this scenario to go from end to end if I time it just right. That won't dig into my real life schedule too much. But yeah, see, he's blazing into my area now. He shouldn't be at all. Like, if I turn around and look back, you'll see a coal train pulling into the station. Again, shouldn't be happening. Don't know why. Yeah, see, he's right there. He should not be there. He should be stopping right here, which the game is. But, wait, is it actually stopping him? I think he still goes through that red signal, though. He shouldn't, but... Well, that's right, I gotta wait for the game to load. Running it off an SSD helps, but not much. So even though this is a small showcase, it's still pretty cool and a new thing you brought to the TSW2 table. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's not that special scenario, but I'm happy that we can finally do Go Transit. People were talking about it for a long time, and ever since I made this skin, I wanted to do something with it, but Muff was never able to, you know, modify the timetable to make these work, because he couldn't find a good consistent substitute, so when the scenario planner came along, it actually made this a lot easier. Oh, there we go, halt and sub. Why does it sound so muffled? What? How do you let a bug like that through? Okay, so I lied, you can almost get up to 95. Wait, is this Burlington? I am stopping here. I am, aren't I? Yep. Oh, it's not counting down like it's supposed to. That distance counter should have counted down. I just have to stop before the half mile so that I can actually back up. Now the coal train will crash into me, but yes, about the same thing. Well, better I goof up here than, you know... There's my Telex hoppers that I thought I released. Oh no, I haven't yet. I need to. We're gonna back up. Is it gonna give a distance counter this time? So is that a game glitch or mod glitch with the counter? That's a game glitch. It just doesn't work sometimes. Why it doesn't work, I don't know, because either it should be counting down right here on this one that's the blue, which it is counting down, or it should be counting down on the HUD, or it should be counting it down on both. The fact that it wasn't doing either sometimes has to do with the simple fact that I was... Okay, well, we'll chalk it up to a mulligan. I don't need a perfect stop. Schedule the doors to unlock. Put the engine forward, get the brakes ready to release. So technically, you know, we shouldn't be doing that. Why he's slowing down, I don't know. He has a clear. Well, the coal train actually does stop for you. Okay, maybe I just told that train to stop there. Yeah, he stops at West Harbor. You're the local, you should be going into West Harbor. Let's see if I can get the door closed. You could use Amtrak for the Caltrain map. The Caltrain F40 and bi-level are not fun to reskin. Alright, I gotta reverse my A and D keys, because every single time I play MSTS, I use TSW's throttle controls, and it screws me up for like an hour and a half. Appleby Track 3. At least the thing's got some get up and go. Oh, wait, did I put the number board lights on in it? There we go. Also, there's one little bit of orange. I gotta fix that. I don't know where it is, though. The Amtrak for the Caltrain map. I can't do any Amtrak. There is no Northeast Corridor stuff. I was working on a Amtrak reskin for the Caltrain F40 PH2 Cat, but I stopped it because I was still in the stages of mapping it out. It was still months away from being done, so I scrapped it. I still have the file, but I haven't worked on it. Maybe I'll return to it one day, but right now I have no intention to. It'd be cool to run Amtrak on here because there's VIA, you know, there's the Adirondack and I think the Maple Leaf, or one of those two. But yeah. Alright, so that is counting down now. Are you on Xbox? Nope, on PC. Last console I had was a 360. They play TSW on PC. I play this on Xbox. Huh. Yeah, there seems to be a fair number of console players. For some maps, they don't have all the trains. No, they don't. Go, 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 transit, gadget, crash, and derail. I should have dimmed my headlights for him. There's my Consus, the grain campaigner. I hate that camera thing. That annoys me. I don't like that it does that. It's very, like, seizure-inducing. Can't imagine people with epilepsy playing this whenever the camera does that. I don't understand why Dovetail made the camera have collision. In MSTS it didn't. In trains I don't think it did. Alright. Notch down. Initial reduction. Considering I can see the blue line, I'm on a good braking curve, and I'm just in an initial. And if I'm coming in, bell should be on. Ditch lights pulse. Base TS doesn't even do the same. People worked on both. Yeah, I don't know why the camera's a collision thing like that. I feel like that should be a fixable thing in Unreal 4. Why they don't do it, I don't know. Because the debug camera that every Unreal 4 engine comes with has no collision. I know it's a debug camera, but there's clearly the ability to do it. Alright, can I pull it into a decent stop? This isn't a super long scenario, but... yeah, that's a good stop. Let's fly down over here. Oh yeah, AGP is working. Let's see if there's any other trains coming in. I should be meeting with a passenger train soon, but I'm running late because of my thing, so he'll depart before I will. This guy's not supposed to leave until the very end. When I come into Oakville, that should be past me. The Eagle sounds weird. It sounded better in TSW 2020. Yeah, they screwed up. The sound mixing is weird. It's the exact same sounds, apparently, from when they ported it, but a lot of sounds got screwed up. People were telling me that some of the sounds on the 377 from East Coastway were messed up. Fuck right.
The doors are about to close.
Just these last two stations and I can end the stream. Also, I think I spoiled it already, but I'll show it off. If you guys have Muff's mastery enabler thing from his website, trainsim.cz, I can show you the mastery reward for the scenery tiles for Oakville. I also should have a mod out soon to enable the Oakville diorama, which doesn't look too bad. Alright, so these right here, which do actually wave when there's wind, these candidates, things along the route, that's your mastery bonus. That's the level 2 mastery bonus for Oakville. That was never activated. They should put new horns on those Caltrains because for each one the horn is the same. Well, to be fair, they were only ever given, Kimberly, they only had 2 references. They were given one FP36 and one F40 by Caltrain, and they said, use these as sound references. Caltrain couldn't pull out every single locomotive from their entire fleet for Dovetail to record, and most of them, as far as I know, do use that P2 horn. I don't normally side with Dovetail, but I have to say Caltrain did their best to give them what they needed. The sound mixing was on Dovetail's part, though. That was up to Dovetail to get right. Oh yeah, my Canadian Crossbucks, which are not out yet, but will be. Alright, 1 mile, 0.9, initial reduction. There's one more station after this. I wonder if it screwed up the stream on YouTube. Yes, I'll be dim my headlights. Someone told me that all the units face this, all the Go Transit trains face the same way. They would all have locomotive leading this way, with cab car facing the other way. I swapped it around for variety. Isn't necessarily the most realistic, but I just assumed, well, maybe a service got wide or needed to be swapped around or something. For TSW 2020, they have the Amtrak thing, it only goes to New York and it does not do Boston or Washington. TSW2, they should add those things. Well, that depends on if they want to. I think Amtrak's in the works at some point. They still hold the license, but NEC New York was a weird one. And it was never really quite finished. And it's never going to come to TSW2, so... Then again, they also killed off my baby, the Jeep 40-2 DLC, which they should have taken the time to support, but I dump it. I don't care. Okay, there's the Procore plant, which does actually work. Special show that off. Yeah, I know people think that Oakville is really restricted with its invisible walls, but apparently this place was meant to be used at one point because you can just fly around and do whatever you want over here. The entire Procore tank car company plant over here works, and all the refueling stations work. I've tested both of them, that 5-car one and this 2-car one. Alright, last stop. Anyways, you guys can definitely outdo me in terms of timeliness on this scenario, but I do really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm working on other custom scenarios, but that require a lot more testing. Working on like a little HST rail tour for West Somerset, a little ICE scenario for Main Spessart-Bonn. In this game I go past the red signal and then it says I failed. Save it and then I come back and I can do what I want. Yep, found that out a long time ago. That's a save exploit. It's been like that in TSW 2020 and TSW2. Dovetail hasn't patched it because it's based on how the game works. They'd have to rewrite a whole bunch of things in order to patch that out, which they won't. It's fun to do the save exploit. If you're on PC and you have the Unreal 4 Universal Console Unlocker, you can actually enable something called Toggle Debug Camera as well, and that'll also nullify both. That'll prevent the red signal thing. As long as you are in that, it won't fade. As long as you're in the debug camera, that all Unreal 4 games come with, the game can't kick you out and say, it'll say you failed or that you derailed, but it can't kick you out until you leave that camera. Maybe I'll do a little video showcasing how to do that at some point for crash enthusiasts. I know Dovetail says they don't want train crashes on YouTube because then they're worried license holders will pull their licenses, but in my personal opinion, if a big railroad sees a couple train crash videos in a train sim and they pull a license over something as petty as that, then they don't understand how the world works. In my personal opinion. Like if CSX pulled it because of the AC, if someone was shooting the AC4400 into a turntable on TSW on YouTube in a crash compilation, then CSX needs to grow up because, you know, if you're a brand that big, and when you crash after you do that, when a bot and the train comes to correction, they crash and don't slow, they don't derail either. That's correct, Kimberly. That's because the AI used something called simple physics. What simple physics does is it means the AI just will accelerate and decelerate up to speed, mostly realistically, but it means they also have infinite mass. You can't move an AI train once it's moving. So the AI doesn't care. The AI just cares about following its path. It doesn't see your derailed train. That's why it'll push against it. I should be blowing for these crossings, but I'm really just concentrating on getting to this live stream and getting it done. Alright, brake harder. Brake much harder, because that's the platform. Alright, did my grain train finally leave? Okay, so he's bugged. That should be leaving. So I'm probably going to pull that from the actual scenario when I make it. Or I'll just do something else. I'll give him an earlier start time. The crossings always stay down and ring. They should go up and down. They should. Dovetail disabled that. Because they knew that the system was broken. They've had 4 years to work on it, to improve upon that, and they just haven't. Because it was very CPU intensive when it shouldn't have been. They didn't write it correctly. So they disabled it in TSW2. And all routes following heavy haul. Stupid, I know, but, you know, not much we can do. Alright, my final door unlock. Yeah, that grain train should have left. Either he's going at 1525 or 1521. I gotta set him to work at 1520 so he comes down here. Shiba, you. Looking good so far. Thank you, Shiba. Yeah, I've got a lot of mods in the works that have been in a backlog for like the past 3 months and I just haven't released them yet because they require me writing a readme and I don't like writing, even though it's easy copy paste. Writing and packaging stuff takes longer than developing a mod because I am very disorganized. I have a lot on the way for you guys, especially Broke though. Should be locked. Lock the door. Alright, how much did it take? Yeah, it takes about a half an hour. 18.36 miles. Okay, stop accuracy was not bad at Burlington, 101 yards. Eh, whatever. Your speed, the speed limit. Let's go back to the main menu. I want to just double check that time. In the CSX AC4400, the middle seat, when you sit and go outside camera, you look, the character is T-posing. Yeah, they did that even in the dev build too. Well, that's a nice screenshot. Yeah, they did that in the dev build too. Don't know why. It shouldn't be doing that. It means it's like not, the animations aren't working or something. I don't know why it's doing that. Right, let's go to the tools. I just want to double check if I set this up correctly, because again, I can screw things up. Formation test. It's a custom formation. Right, edit. When's he supposed to start? He's supposed to start at 15:15 and he's not going. What? Oh, hold on. Confirm end marker. Confirm service. There. There we go. Oh, that's that. Nope, well, there's just freight as their passenger because there's a station. They only modeled the freight. The passenger thing is something I just did as a custom thing. Okay, that's a broken test. That's a broken test. That's a test. Information test that doesn't really need to be there, but I guess, well, it's not the point of this scenario, so I won't show it off. I'll give you guys one better look at what the 4400 should look like. Or actually, I'll just showcase one little thing I'm going to do with the Peninsula Corridor unit so you guys can see the modification timetable. When I release this reskin, a couple things will be noticed here. Instead of it saying CT here for Caltrain, I'll say GO. The Caltrain logo here will be changed to Go. And it'll say the same thing on here. It'll be like Go97 or whatever the heck it is. And this will say Go Transit. I'm going to do some extra things just so it looks more, you know, like a complete mod. Anyways, that's it. If I have any more scenarios, I'll stream them. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with OBS 64. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, despite the fact that it was off to a funky start like the last one has been. So, have a good night, folks, and stay safe.